Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Once again, the Federal Reserve is hurting American citizens. Some of you would say, how's that, Eric? Well, those of you who are not in the stock market, who are not in the financial industries, do not understand what rate cuts do. It helps move those environments at a higher price, higher rate of economic freedom. Your financial freedom is at stake. You need to always make more money. Well, one thing's for sure, all-time record high on the stock indexes, at least one of them today. So you guys know where this is going. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Nobody's coming to save you, ladies and gentlemen. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here needing this information, who does not even understand this information and what's happening. First of all, Jerome Powell, I'll be dropping a video tomorrow, but Jerome Powell steps up to the mic and starts saying the unfathomable. We are going to reduce the federal rate by 0.25, 25 basis points. I want to know if anybody's watching this right now, there's a comment section. In replay, there's a comment section. It's open. Hit that live chat. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen for you when they reduce the federal funds rate. I'll wait. Just playing. The thing is, if you have money in a bank and it's sitting there, then your interest rate will be decreasing. If you have credit cards, then you know your interest rate it could be anything, 17%, 27%, 37%. 0.25 will not help you. That's the first thing. Your interest rate, I don't know why you would have it in a 3%, 3.5% of interest bearing account, unless, of course, you like the bank. But that will be going down. Now, if you're invested in the stock market, guess what will be going up? And today, by the way, soon as they announced this, the stock market reacted on several fronts. Up and away. So if you were a stock trader, you had every reason to win today. It didn't stop. It went through what I'm going to call time zones. At least 11 time zones. So if you would have been betting the market by trading, and you would have been saying for every time zone that's $10, or every time zone that's $20, or every time zone that's $50, you could easily see 10 to 12 time zones straight up without a hitch. You could easily see you could have made hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions in just a few minutes. Less than an hour, less than 30 minutes. This is why, once again, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And how are we going to start this off? Because a lot of people are going to be hurting even worse. findhelp.org. That's the first thing that you want to do. All right. I'm doing this every live stream when we start because 60, 70% of people are saying there's a financial problem out here in the world. And in order to get wealthy, you have to have decreased your debt. It's that simple. So here's the chat room. And right in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen, get your candlestick Bible. That's right. You got to learn trading. The stock market's not going anywhere, but the economy is still going to go down. That means you are going to be laid off. That means your business might be out of business, just like John Deere. Can you believe John Deere, the farmers in the agricultural business, they are sitting here talking about they need aid, welfare, bailouts. Why? You voted for this garbage. We told you from previous time, the previous administration in 2017 to 2021, the same thing happened and you got bailouts then. Now taxpayers have to bail you out again, and you guys have no problem with that. Taxpayers should have a problem with this. Obviously, there's nothing you can do about it. But the fact that people keep voting the same nonsense in and happy about it, then get bailouts and then tell immigrants that they're the problem. Doesn't seem like immigrants are the problem here. It seems like descendants of immigrants are the problem. Because you guys get special treatment. Billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars for something that did not have to happen. And now what happens? They got to reduce the federal funds rate to spur and hope it spurs the economy. But all it does is just spurs the wealthy people. That's all it does. Come on, ordinary citizen. You only own 7% of the stock market. 7%, that's it. The top 10% of the wealthiest own 93% of the stock market. So do you see how ridiculous this is when people continue to say, let's do this nonsensical stuff? It affects 80% of the population who lives paycheck to paycheck. And now it's going to be worse when the new numbers come out. But you know what? This administration won't release any of those numbers because those clowns, they're so weak and pathetic that they won't even release October and November CPI reports. The Trump regime I'm referring to. They won't release the numbers because they know it's worse. So therefore, the Federal Reserve should have not done anything today, if in fact increased the Federal Reserve funds rate, but they did not. So now, again, ladies and gentlemen, you are in jeopardy. Your grandkids are in jeopardy. Your children are in jeopardy. Your great, great, great grandkids are in jeopardy. We're spending out of control $2 trillion this year, and the Federal Reserve is sitting over there like, ho, ho, here we go. We don't care. Tic-tac-toe bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm upset because this is only going to get worse because now you're spurring the economy for the rich guys to be able to go to the Federal Reserve, which are companies, corporations, and the rich guys and go, hey, can I get a loan from you guys for 3.5%, 3.75% interest rate only loan for 15 years? If you had a 3.5% interest rate for 15 years, you would be happy too. Now you understand where I'm coming from. Here, Candlestick Bible. That's why you need to go learn because that will never go away. And guess what else? When the economy goes down or up, you can make money. Don't take this lightly. You have to study. And with anything, you don't do what the 1% do, then you're going to be like the other 99% of people. In this case, 80% of people. So do what the other 1% do. And you're going to have to be in the financial industry no matter how you slice it, whether you run your own business. But we got the Candlestick Bible so you can get started. It takes a minute. It's 168 pages. You can listen online. You can read. But I suggest you read because visuals help you. And then let's get to it. The CoinX. First, I use CoinX as a broker. I mean, people don't like it because it's not really regulated, right? But the point I'm trying to make is uh, I'm going to put a link in here. CoinX is a broker you can sign up for. I'm putting you the auto trading bot. Again, don't mess with the bot unless you learn how the market and the candlesticks move, because the bot is based on if the market stays level and have a slight downturn or a slight upturn. It has to be slight. If it goes in this upward trajectory, generally you're going to lose. If it goes down, okay, you'll be fine. But going up is catastrophic. So what you do is open up your CoinX, get a demo account because you have to log in. Then you say demo, and then you register that. You'll get an account number for a demo, and then you use MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, and then you go use the demo account. And now when you're reading the Candlestick Bible, at the same time, you can run the software and under the demo without risking any money other than demo money. Once you learn, you can start testing what you feel comfortable with. All right. And then you'll start seeing patterns and you'll be like, oh, I see that around here. And you would get to learn the trading system because it takes a minute, because you're seeing, I shouldn't say signals, you're seeing images, diagrams, like little squares, and you're like, I don't know what that is, because you see an arrow in an L shape, and you're like, what? Oh, you find out, I find out, you'll find out. That just means it just moves the chart forward or back, which I didn't know that was, I was scrolling so it would move back and forth for me. Come to find out, they actually have buttons and all kind of stuff. But you don't know that because you don't know what that even means if you're like me, starting from scratch. But starting from scratch is good, ladies and gentlemen, because soon as you start now, if you do get laid off, if something does happen, your business lays you off, if your business is going bad and you can learn how to trade and you become good at it, that would be your number one thing to think about. So CoinX is where you go. Get your demo account, set it up, run the software, MetaTrader 4 or 5. It does not really matter to me, but get in the game. Because if there's one thing that's going to be here, is all of the stock markets, because all corporations and ETFs and the Federal Reserve buy stocks because it's paper. So once the stock going up gives them more money, more wealth. That's why the top 3, 4, 5 people in the world have shares on stock exchanges. And they have not majority stakeholders, but they are pretty high. So therefore, if their stock goes up like Oracle today, their AI numbers came under, like I told you guys before. AI is very, very dangerous. As long as there's a boom and everybody's feeding off of the NVIDIA, the revenue's not there. Spending $1 trillion to get $5 billion, who would do that? It'd be just like you going, you tell somebody, I'm going to give you $1,000, and they tell you, yeah, I'm going to give you $3.50. You would be like, what kind of investment is this? And the guy says, well, my name is NVIDIA. And see, I have all these businesses ordering from us and China and around the world on this AI stuff. And see, we've spent a few, 300-400 billion dollars just ourselves. But because we have these chips, these other people are giving us a few $1 billion. So our revenues are off the charts. But I'm not going to tell you our profit. Well, we're not going to talk about it. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why you have to study. So you need to go to your favorite financial news location. I CNBC, fine. Market Watch, fine. Seeking Alpha, fine. Wall Street Journal, fine. But you need to find something that you can get news and updates. You can't stay in an echo chamber. You have to look around. There's all kind of information, and it's not just on one source oftentimes. Who knew that Oracle was going to lose? Their shares were going to go down after they reported, we don't have that much profit with the AI. 11% drop. Once again, if you would have been paying attention, you would have seen what to do if you were on the stock market and a trader. You would have been able to act. You would have said, okay, if it dropped, as soon as it dropped 3% or something, you would have been like, oh man, this is, once you got the news, you could have traded on the news, which a lot of people say don't do. But these are the days that you can make a lot of money. All right, so let's talk some more. Let me see who's in the house tonight. We have EV Place, another business guy, investors in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he brings his tagline, good evening, SSN. Good evening to you. I've smashed that like button. Give it a one piece, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you have to do out here. By the way, EV Place, thank you so much for being a member of the channel with the icon next to your name. I humbly appreciate that, man, by your financial support being your part of the membership. Now, the other part, everybody gets love here, but EV Place does speaker systems in your car using renewable energy. That's right. When you're driving your car, you are creating solar power through the batteries. I shouldn't say in batteries, but I'll use batteries. Everybody understands. But anyhow, you're charging it up for 2 hours or more where your car can be shut off and you're not running down your own car battery. Renewable energy in the trunk, spinning around when you're driving. As soon as you stop, you have 700 watts or more, and it's relatively inexpensive. Now, I know all you guys that love your car systems. Let's get real. You know, you know, used to do some car system stuff. And the funniest part was you would hear like rattling and things like this. So what we would do is we'd put some soundproofing inside the shells of the doors, put stuff on the bottom of the floorboards, because most of the time we're pulling up carpeting and things like that. So we're just like, hey man, bring me some soundproof stuff. We're putting speakers indoors. Hey man, bring me some of that soundproof stuff. So people would get in the car and they'd be like, this sounds different. Yeah. Then old school, we had to use inverters. All right. Amplifiers, put amps underneath people's seats. It was cool and all, but now we don't have to do that anymore. Clean systems. And by the way, here's the link to go check it out. Go show some love. He's a member of the channel. He's a business owner. He needs our support. He's working hard out here. And if you're into cars and car systems, this is the guy to go talk to and see and order his system. And he does homes as well. I don't know the home factors, but he'll talk to you. Go check it out. That's the eBay link. Go see what it is. You guys will not believe it. All right, let's go. Now, I just had to say that, right? We got to show some love. We got to support members, people who are here. We got to support you guys. Sondanet. Oh, I love this. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And brings a tagline. Hey, let's team up and create awesome content. Add me on Discord. Sondanet, our Discord. Okay, by the way, I don't have that, do I? Just a second. Hold on. I don't have to add you. Here you go. It's Stop Struggling Now on Discord. It's very easy. Here, let me get it. Let me get the link for you. Let me go get the link. Here's the Discord, which, we don't really do too much there, but hey, you want to come over to Discord, say hello. Here you go. Oh, first, the eBay link. I didn't get that yet. Does not support that. What is that? Okay, there we go. The eBay link for EV Place. Go check it out. If you're into speaker systems, you want clean sound with lots of power, that's right. Because you guys know the worst part about sounds is when all the lines aren't clear. That was the other tricks. You got to have efficiency, just like gauge in a wire. Same rules apply when you want the crispy, clean sounds of a speaker system in your car. There's tricks. And by the way, you know what's very interesting? You know how these cars that cost over $100,000 and they put in these sound systems and they're kind of sometimes still garbage. It's insane. But nonetheless, won't happen with you. Do EV place, you don't need an expensive car. You'll get hooked up. Crispy, clear sound, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there's the Discord is also down there. Now that Sodanet mentioned it, I rarely mention our Discord because basically I post on Discord. We don't really have much discussions on there, but you know that could change. Soundproofing is recommended, but I can clean the sound first. Oh, see, he got right to it. See, I used to do this. That's why I know. This is what I'm talking about. Soundproofing is recommended, but I can clean the sound first. That's right. We try to clean the sound first. Always. Because if we can get the cleaner sound first, that's even better. Yeah, exactly. He you could tell he does. See, again, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I always found fascinating? I got stories tonight. We usually do Friday night stories night, but what I find fascinating is when somebody comes up to talk to you, right? And let's just say just like this right here, what we're talking about speaker systems, right? So you start talking, and so then even though I said similar, I know what he means. The thing is, when he says stuff like this, he puts this in here, but I can clean the sound first. This is exactly the situation. You're sitting there trying to be like, I need the perfect, well, back in the day, the perfect gauge for enough to go through this crispy clear. So we would use different wires. I can't remember this thing, 8 gauge, 12 gauge, 16. I can't remember what gauges, long time ago. But different wire from different companies would generate a better sound. It was crazy how there was these frequency changes and every kind of thing. So we're trying to clean all this stuff up. So when it hits the power, we have the cleanest sound we can get. And then people, when they get their cars back, they'd be like, wow, how? It's like, wait, hold up. You mean I didn't have to put one of them big old speaker boxes in the back of my car? It's like, no, man, we got you. We got you. We just put it in your deck. You good? We put it in your back walls. He's like, man, this is crispy clear. I said, well, we had a few speakers, tweeters and mid range. That's all. He's like, what? I don't see nothing. I'm like, exactly. You're not supposed to. So we would cut stuff, put in mesh. It was sweet work. And by the way, most of the time, it was just fun and games. Just trying to help our friends because they were into the speakers, bouncing around, driving down the street. I'm from Cali. You know, switches. You know what that's like. All right. Brian P., Mr. Dividend is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And by the way, since Brian P. is here, I know what he's going to say. But what I want to say first, before he says go check your emails, which I have not, make sure you have your pen pads and papers ready because you never know what's going to be said here. All right? But he brings his tagline, Happy Day, Eric. I hope all is well with you and your family. Yes, things are going in an interesting direction. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. There you go. Give it a one piece, ladies and gentlemen. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get back to the Federal Reserve. Do you guys understand? I hope this is going to be a short and sweet message tonight because it's very, very simple. When the Federal Reserve continues to decrease their interest rate, everybody knows something else has to happen. On the other side of something else has to happen, that just means if you are into the financial industries, you're going to get a boost. All right. This could also lead to other things like the mortgage rates could possibly go down, but that's not what the Federal Reserve rate does. All right. It's based on bonds generally, but there will be a few mortgage companies who will think about how much did you say you'll give me a loan for, Federal Reserve, for 3.75 or 4% interest only for 15 years. And they say, okay, well, guys, if we do $20 billion in loans and we have 1%, 1.5% arbitrage, how much is that? And the guys go, it's millions. And we don't even have any risk, interest only for 15 years. We'll take that bet. So now you have some mortgage companies that's going to come out and be like, oh, forget 6.5, forget 6. How about 4.75? Just saying. So do not be surprised. That gives people an advantage. Those people, mortgage companies and banks, and the individual person has a lower rate, which means the worst. Housing prices can blow up because people who get under a 5% loan all of a sudden starts buying homes, liabilities, putting their debt to income ratio at risk. Again, I would rather you try to buy a twoplex, which is a duplex, a triplex, which is a threeplex, or a quadplex, which is a fourplex, using an FHA loan, 3% down. Okay, forget that. 4% down. It is three, but I always say four because there's other fees. 4% down, and your credit score can be 580 and up. That's what you should be looking for right now. That's what you should be looking for. Something that makes sense like that. You will have to live in it for a year, but so what? You want to build wealth? Now's the time to start looking at those type of factors. Something that you can get that makes money. A storage units, small storage units, right? Simple. All kind of things can happen. Anything that has to do with rentals that people cannot live without. It's that simple. All right, hold on. Brian P., you know what happened. They send me over an approval. And once again, it's not on my computer. So, all right, let's try a different way. Let's try a different way. Because I got to get to the emails, ladies and gentlemen, because I might be on here 3 hours after I go to the emails. That would be bad. No, this isn't it. Come on now. Man, what the heck? I wasn't paying attention. They sent me a sign in, but I missed it. So we'll have to redo this. All right. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this Federal Reserve and what they're doing. Come on now. I know you guys, we have investors in the house. I know you guys have something to say. Let me know. Okay, I found the secret. Let me know. This isn't rocket science. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Brian P., he's already with the dividends, so he won't care. He gets dividends every Friday and Monday. And we're not talking about a little bit of dividends either. And remember the other day I was looking for water. Today I have some tea. Mm. All right, so this is what I'm going to be doing. Oh, notice tonight I have the special headphones. I don't know why. I just felt like wearing the headphones because I can't hear anything. It's like, I just wore the headphones tonight. Look like a podcaster. Check out your emails. For everybody on our podcast, thank you so much. Make sure you hit the heart button, the like button, the check box, the star, whatever it says. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, this is going, oh, we've been attacked by this other country. What are they doing? And you expect other countries just sit back and do what? I mean, this is crazy. Causing conflict, by the way, does not help anybody's economy. Just saying. Some people would say, well, when there's a war, it does. Well, what happened when there was a desert storm for no, I mean, not desert storm. Well, okay, desert storm, what happened? And then when we had Iraq war, what happened? Trillions of dollars spent for no reason. And it took us damn near 10 years to recover because of the trillions of dollars of cost. And then some, along with the recession. This is not a recipe for winning. It's only a recipe for the rich, not for us. This is incredible. I can't even, I have no words for this nonsense. This is hurting us Americans. All right. The Fed is out here hurting Americans. Not everybody. The top 10% is going to be fine. Those of you don't have to be in the top 10%. You too can make money. And you don't have to be in the top 10%, but what you do need is disposable income. So if you need to clean up your debt, you got to do it. Oh man, we have military boarding their planes. I mean, their tankers. We have a helicopter. People in military gear is boarding this tanker. Oh, with U.S. buildup to begin, we're already 38 trillion. Forget that. We're $40 trillion in debt already. We spent 2 trillion already this year of money we don't have. We're 40 trillion in debt as we speak. Now we're over here building up with military gear that's going to cost us another how many billions per day? This is incredible right now. If this isn't bad enough, prices are rising. And I don't want to hear people talk. Let's go. We're investors here. I don't understand the stupidity of people in America. If people don't understand supply and demand, meaning when it gets colder in America, people drive less distance in more than half of the country. So if the prices come down, it's because less people are using gas. I'm talking about in your vehicle. More people are going to use natural gas. So natural gas tends to go up because homes need heat. Does this not make any freaking sense? This is common sense, you would think. So when people are going, gas prices went down, this lowest, it could be the lowest in 15 years. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, people don't have money to spend in the first place. So therefore, when it gets colder, they're not going out any more than necessary. So it goes hand in hand that gas prices should decrease during wintertime. That's gasoline that goes in a car. Natural gas goes up. What is the problem? This is craziness. Now, let's get back to this. This is impact on global oil supply unclear. Well, it's not going to do much. Um, I don't know. Wednesday's move that sent oil prices higher sharply escalated tensions between, you think you're off another country's coast seizing their tankers and you think it's all going to be good? And you think because you don't like a president or you think he needs to yeah, Trump is saying, pressuring him to step down. That's just like if anybody in another country told Trump to step down. He's not going to step down just because somebody else seized a tanker, a U.S. tanker. No, the only thing that's going to happen is the U.S. would be like, well, let me gear up because this ain't going to happen. So wouldn't it be making sense if Maduro said, let me gear up? It looks like we're about to have a problem. Knowing you can't beat the U.S., but what are you going to do? Act like Venezuela is not part of the United States? I don't think so. This is insanity right now. Just the same insanity of talking about Iraq had weapons of mass destruction was a lie. This is a lie. And he said he's going to defend its sovereignty, natural resources, and national dignity with absolute determination. Okay, come on, man. Just stop talking like this. This freaking third world country BS. You ain't defending nothing because you already haven't popped off. Then you got problems. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there is no way the US or any of the top countries, you come over there doing that kind of crap, they damn sure wouldn't be talking. Damn sure wouldn't be talking. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, reason I'm upset is because of the Federal Reserve. The reason I'm upset is because this situation in the oil stock market, oil prices, they went up. You could have want. Hey, it's going to continue to go up. By the way, if this goes into another, if Venezuela responds, oil prices are going to go up. Now, keep in mind, oil prices are going to go up is the key word. But which oil prices are going to go up? Okay. And by the way, in case you don't know, America has to have oil prices at a certain number. It can't drop like it was dropping below that number for the US dollar to be efficient and for our own oil producers to run their wells. So if it gets below that number, all of a sudden, all the rich oil companies and corporations and all the rich guys in America who own them or run them or whatever, they're going to start bitching. And so this right here could be a disguise for that to manufacture higher oil prices to maintain that number for our dollar. All right. Remember, we have the petrodollar, ladies and gentlemen. Oil is traded in petrodollars, kind of, because the guys in BRICS said, ah, Saudi Arabia says, we'll let a few of our friends not have to buy in oil in US dollars. So all I'm saying is this is all bad. It's good for the rich guys, but in order to be good for you, you need to be in where the rich guys are in. They know all this stuff. So they're taking advantage. In fact, I don't know if I have oil. Let me go. Let's go to CNBC because they're trying to hurt you as the ordinary citizen. Because let's face facts, if oil goes up, now all of a sudden that wintertime lull when there's less drivers on the road going less farther than they go when it's warmer, all of a sudden they can increase the price even though it has nothing to do with what's already sitting at the pump, what's already here that doesn't even come from Venezuela. All right? So keep those things in mind. Let me go see what the market said today. Because you would have other opportunity probably with the oil as well. But again, notice the information. If you don't know this information, like today, I didn't know that happened, then you couldn't have went over there and made uh, any money off of the stock market with regard to oil. Okay, what is going on here? Oh, I'm on the okay, I'm on the wrong thing. I was I was looking at the markets and I'm sitting here like, where's the oil at? What's happening? Let's go see what happened today. Because again, this would have been another opportunity, right? As soon as you found out that they took over or seized this tanker, you would have been like on it. You'd have been like, holy smokes, okay, we know what's going to happen. I'm looking for commodities. What's happening? It's not taking me to the oil price. Anybody have oil price today? Interest, currency, index. No, no. What's happening? This is like the Twilight Zone. Oh well, maybe I'll get some help. Oh, here we go. Oil. It didn't go up that much. It's at 58.2. Let's go look. Let's see what happened. Because again, it says 0.26. That's not like major. Oh, this is crude. Let me see. Let me see what else we got going on here. Nah, that's not. It's futures though. I think this is futures. I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, that's okay. I'm on some. Okay, I'm on the crude numbers. Oh, oh yeah. Okay. No, 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 no. Well, it damn sure went way down. That's for sure. The crude oil, man, that dropped. I'm even looking for. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go do this. Let me go do this then. Let me go to U.S. oil. Let's go that way. Let's go. Where you have dividends, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, you have dividends. There's Brent. There's gas. None of that matters. Let's see. Trader in the house. Hold down here. Hold up. Let me go check some things. Check your emails. I'm checking, courtesy of Mr. Dividend, Brian P. Mr. Light is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And Mr. Light says hello, good night. Eric, help me understand. Now my 3,000 ULTY is now 300 shares. Is that a good thing? No, it's not a good thing. Well, I don't, it doesn't really matter. What they did was they did 10-to-1 reverse merger. So reverse means 10-to-1 reverse is 10 for every stock. They replaced every 10 of your stocks for one stock. So your 3,000 is 300. Same value. The question is it the same value for you? ULTY uh, ETF. Now, is it still working for you? How much did you buy is the $1,000,000 question, right? So right now I went to there and it says $40.11. So I'll go over the last month, just in this case. This is a UMAX ETF fund. Remember, be very careful with UMAX. I told you guys before. See, a month ago it was at $46. This is not good. You're down $6 per share. So you'll notice, even though you're getting those nice weekly dividends, you'll notice that your stock price outweighs the dividends you're going to receive. So again, if anybody's in the Yilmax ETF platforms, I would highly advise that you look to make sure you protect your stocks, because I'm going to give you a perfect example. I'm about to, what happened right here? $46 down to 40. 12.9, basically 13% since 1 month ago. Down. So I'll give a perfect example here. So we had, I'll use 300 because it doesn't really matter, but we can 300 times, I don't know when you bought it, but I'm just going to use a rough estimate. It's $46 a month ago. That was $13,800. Okay. So now we do this 300 times. Yeah, come on. 300 times $40. We're down to 12,000. So we've already lost, by the stock price, $1,800. Now, in order to get that back, now we're sitting here with, in fact, let me just go. Oh, wait. Yeah, there's something we used to do. Max ETFs. Um, Dividends. Distribution. Let's see if I can get the Global News Network right now. Okay, Global News Wire, 15 hours ago. So I'm going to use it because we can use this real world. So you have to be an investor. You have to understand, put in a stop where you exit it before things get crazy. So, because you never know, in this environment, stock market's going to go up. This is not conducive for most Yield Max ETF stocks because they are not backed by the stock itself. They do trading for that stock. And when it goes up, it's fine the market goes up, but that doesn't mean your stock's going to go up. All right. What's Wait a minute. Where's ULTY at? Okay. TU. It's not on the list. What happened? Where's the ULTY? Everything but ULTY is on this list. Uh, there's What's going on? Okay, ULTY. Okay, what's happening? Are they? Oh my God. Okay, here we go. What's happening here? Okay, how about this? I'll go somewhere else. It's not on the list. Why is it not on the list? Okay, ULTY has paid a dividend of 129% and paid $51.83 per share in the past year. All right, I don't really care about that. I don't really care about that. Um, we're weekly. Yeah, it's supposed to pay weekly, but it's not on the list. All right, let's go here. Uh, uh, that's pretty crazy. I could go to the EOMAX ETF page, but I'm not going there right now. Yeah, December ex dividend date, December 10th, today. So you get paid Friday. It looks like it to be 54 cents, almost 54.6. I'll use that. All right, so now we can start doing this. 300 times point, no. Yeah, 546. That's $163 this week. Okay, so now what do? We go look. It was 58 cents December 3rd. It was 59 cents November 26th, 64 cents. That's pretty good on a weekly basis. So then we go, okay, 64 cents plus 59 cents plus 58. I'll round up in a second. Plus 54, but I'm going to round up to 56 because all the other ones were 59, 58. I should have rounded up. So I'll give him 2 points. All right. That's $2.37. 300 times 2.37. $700 this month. But you're down 1,800. But again, so what's going to happen? That 700 is going to buy new shares. Your dollar cost average starts coming down. You can keep it going, getting more shares. What is that? 40 cents. What is that? Nine. I mean, not nine. 12. No. Uh, that's 7. 17. So that's not beat. But the thing is, what if it goes down to 38? Great. You have more shares. Your dividends, as long as it can, well, I can see right now on up to, oh, it's been fluctuating. It was 90 cents in September or 92 cents in September. It's been going down since July. It peaked. But nonetheless, just be wary. Annual dividend now is $51.08, and they're spouting 129%. But nonetheless, just letting you know, man, just be careful. Whatever you purchase it at, make sure that you're getting a decent return and the stock price doesn't fluctuate too much. This is why we were talking about PLTY as a potential option, because that one, for whatever reason, seems to stay near their price. There's a range, so to speak. It went down to $53, which is very interesting as well, because that was pretty low. That triggered my sell, so I can keep all my profits. So anytime you're doing UMAX ETF, I highly suggest you put in a stop loss order. So if it drops, you hit the eject button. So that way you keep what your initial investment is plus whatever dividends you've received. You can always re-enter, but I'm just saying. Uh, let's go with this. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Let me go back. Let me go back. I want to see what PLTY is doing. See if it's around 53. Because me and EV Place, we were talking about it. He was on here on another live. He said it was $53. He re-entered, and it used to be it got as high as into the $70 range. Then it was in the high 60s, and then it came all the way down to $53. So I'm curious what happened, right? I want to know what happened. I mean, it hasn't been too long. It's only been like the last whatever. Uh, let's see, PLTY. It's doesn't tell you the stock price, but 56 cents per share. What's the okay? These guys. All right, there we go. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you should be in the stock market. This is what you should be doing, trying to find that passive income. It's up to $56.31. See, traditionally, just so you guys know, it generally ranged from the upper like 58, 59 up to 69. It always stayed, or basically once things, and again, it's based on economy. It was staying like 58, 59 to about 66. It was fluctuating within that range. Then all of a sudden, it started going haywire. So right now, 5 days upward trend. But see, here it is. A month ago, it was $62. Then it went down to $50. So somebody in November, the end of November, could have bought it at $50. And then now you'd be at $6. This would make perfectly good sense. D.I.M. Powell's trades on this. He trades on Yomax ETFs, he says. So these fluctuate so much that it is worthy of doing because it goes down and it goes up. But there's others that could just go down, like that $46 to $40. You have a downward trend. That'd be like a trader's dream to have a downward trend of that kind of magnitude. So this is what he does. I don't know exactly how he trades it, but I'm just guessing. But anyhow, hopefully that helps answer your question, Mr. Light. All right. Post retirement travel. Another investor's here. Retiree. Mr. Worldwide. Two. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Let's do this. That's what we do out here. We try to help people. Findhelp.org. If you just now showed up. All right. Stay invested. We are all going to be wealthy. Stock market and real estate wealthy. That's the only way it goes right now. Because there will be I hate to say a real estate boom, because 80% of the population lives paycheck to paycheck. But the reality is, the mortgage companies are going to always lower the standards in order to produce the paper. Again, the derivatives are the most important. Because, again, in case you're new here and don't understand, I can't use that. I was looking for a piece of paper, but here it is. Piece of paper, my DMV. This right here is a piece of paper I sign. I get a loan for $500,000. This piece of paper, because you signed it, is worth $500,000. And if you're wealthy and you're a mortgage company or a bank or whoever, each one of these represents the full value, even though you might have only put 50, 60, $70,000 down. The 500,000 that's on this note is what it's worth. This piece of paper, the $500,000 doesn't even exist. It's just this piece of paper, IOU, that you signed for. So now I get 10 of these. And if I had 10 of these, that's $5 million. If I get 100 of these, that's $50 million. But I have to wait 30 years or 15 years. But basically, I got to wait 30 years on average, right? For my money. They're just going to be making these measly payments to me. 3 grand, 3,500, measly, nothing. I got to wait for that 500 grand over 30 years. Yes, it'll be a million. So the $50 million worth of paper is worth a million if people wait 30 years to pay because the interest means you're going to pay double. But that's 30 years from now. I don't want to wait 30 years for $100 million. Hell, a certain percentage of these people are going to default. I don't mind that really. But before they default, why don't I sell the paper that's really worth 100 million, but we'll still with the 50. And how about I get somebody to give me like $10 million for this paper, and you take the risk to collect the remaining 90 million over 30 years, where there's going to be AI coming, when there's going to be less jobs, when livable wage jobs are scarce. We went over it on Monday night in case you weren't here. How many people make over $140,000? I believe it was somewhere like 5 to 10%, something like that. 15, no, it was 15, up to 15%. There's a range. But the point is, that's it. Not that many people. That's why 80% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck. The people making over 140 are also getting close to that paycheck to paycheck. 140K paycheck to paycheck. I never thought I would hear that 10, 15, 20 years ago. If you said somebody was going to be able to make 140, $150,000 a year and they're going to be living paycheck to paycheck, you would have said when, never. Remember, homes only cost 150 grand or something. I mean, so somebody making 140, you'd be like, they're going to be set. Wrong. All right, let's go. So the Federal Reserve out here hurting us is all based on everything I just said right there. This piece of paper is worth more. All right. D.I.M. Powell, speak of the devil, he's in the house. Welcome, another investor's here to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Thank you so much for being in the house. And he says his tagline: good evening, SSN family. Someone just rear-ended me in an accident. I hope you're fine. I hope you are passengers. Everybody's fine. Don't have to go to the hospital. I'm glad we are okay, but man, is this a gift for some investments. Just kidding. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. That's good. I know when people get in car accidents, they're all like, "Oh, somebody hit me. Oh my God. Oh, and let me I mean, look, the country we live in is funny. You know, this is so funny. You know what's funny? Is that all the government, okay, hold on. All the GOP party has to do is say healthcare for all. That's it. And now those accidents, the slip and falls, all this stuff, nope. Just go to the hospital, buddy. Nah, sorry. Just go to the hospital, buddy. We all got insurance. I mean, we all got coverage. Go to the hospital, get yourself hooked up. Now, you want to worry about the insurance for repairing the car and stuff. Cool. But nah, you get to go to the hospital, get hooked up, go through rehab if you got jacked, maybe sue for personal, suffering or something. I don't know. But see, that would be eliminated. Just like a business not being able to pay people for their healthcare coverage. You wouldn't have to do that either. That frees up the company to actually hire more people, make more money potentially. because you don't have to spend healthcare money. Just saying. Kind of like how the congressmen have full coverage, taxpayers pay it, same kind of thing. All right, welcome to the third world country, ladies and gentlemen. DIM pals, I'm glad you're okay, and I like to joke. All right, let's go. Post retirement travel. He says, Mr. Light, my opinion, it's a good thing. It increases liquidity and potential growth. Yes, post retirement travel, but keep in mind, these are actually not stocks, and they trade on the options. So they're basically, it's not anything affiliated with the normal stock. So I agree with you on that point. That is the object actually of what you're saying, of doing the reverse 10 to 1 or reverse 5 to 1. But in this case, it was reverse 10 to 1. So, but in our case, it's not a stock. It's not backed by a stock. It's only backed by option income trading. That's why it's very, very interesting, because we already lost 13% in 1 month. So here's the problem. You lost 13% in 1 month. The annual return is 129 based on this price, not the 46 price, the 40 price. So even let's just say it's 100. So that's still seemingly great, but if you lose 13% a month in your stock value, which I don't think it will, but if it did, that's detrimental, because another 13 means you're down another 1,500. You'd be down 2,300, even though 3 months, if it gives you the 56 cents per share, 3 months you break even, but that would mean the stock price would have to stay level. If it keeps going down, you keep chasing it. So that defeats the whole purpose, right? All right, let's go. Eric, post retirement travel. I was listening to the live radio station from DDR today. A lot to discussion and agreement that Mises is the next Punta Cana. Yes, that's true. 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, remember I was trying to get my property deals together. Mises, the property value was $65, $75 per acre on the beach. I'm pretty sure that's not it anymore. But the fact of the matter is, all kind of hotels. I was next door to the hotel if I'd have been able to secure this property. And that next door hotel was $200 million. So then the hotel found out that the owner had another parcel which was next to mine that the owner would not sell. And so I went out there. All of a sudden, I saw a uh, security house on this parcel, and I told the guys, I was like, "Hey, man, I thought the owner didn't sell this. What's he doing? What's happening?" The $200 million hotel came across and made him an offer he can't refuse. So he sold that portion, even though it wasn't in our deal, but he wouldn't sell it, because then I would have had more than the 12. What was it? I think it was 100,000 square feet, something like that. And that parcel was something like 30, 40,000 square feet. Oh, sorry, square meters. So it was huge. And I was like, man, as it turns out, it didn't really matter. But the point is, that's right on the beach. So yeah, all them parcels were selling at below 75, $50 on the beach, outside of, well, it's in Miches, but not in the town, but it's before you get to Miches, closest to Punta Cana. But yeah, they've been saying that for a while. I don't know what they mean by the next Punta Cana, because they wouldn't allow that second airport to be built up there. So now you still got to drive almost an hour from the Punta Cana airport. Once you get your bags, luggage, get from the congestion and on the freeway in the inner city stuff. Um, yeah, it takes 45 minutes to get out there, at least. And if you had to go to Miches itself, I didn't go to Miches town. I was out, still Miches, but outside before you get to the town. So it could be an hour. I'm sure it's an hour. That's a long way. You can be a lot of places in an hour when you land at the Punta Cana airport, but they're putting Miches up as a place. There's all inclusive resorts. There's also the glamping the glamping camping grounds that people pay to go to up there. There's some things in Michi's already that are for vacationers, but the thing that Michi's doesn't have is that second airport should have been out there. But Frank Ranieri and the Punta Cana group were successful to block it because they own the Punta Cana airport. And again, investment wise, that was another vehicle to get cheaper flights because you would have had another airport within an hour distance. But more people would look at the maps and go, well, if it takes me an hour and 10 minutes to get to my spot, maybe I won't go there. That would have put more people in Michi's flying into Michi's and the surrounding areas, even into Macau and towards the west, where they go towards Las Terrenas, Samana, and all that. So that could have been a nice hub to bring in some additional money, jobs, airlines, and help with the infrastructure. But no, they were successful in blocking, which is a shame. All right, they have like 7 airports there already, but they're so far apart, it's ridiculous. Um, there are mega resorts like no other being built as we speak. Yes, I was ahead of the curve a little. I knew all about them. Like I said, there was a $200 million one. Then they bought the lot that I couldn't buy. Then next to them is another, like I think it was something crazy, like 4 or 500 million. I'm talking. This is billions of dollars just in Michi's that's already allocated, and these are big time hotel 5-star type places. And yeah, the water's beautiful. I mean, it's sexy, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. So yeah, um, in fact, that was, you know what? Forget that. Check this out. Mishi's all. I'll do it this way. Mishi's new all inclusives. This is investing, ladies and gentlemen. Real estate. This is another thing. This is the time to think about investing in real estate. You know what? Real estate market has a lull right now. If you're going to invest in something, now is the time. Get it cheap. When the interest rates pop down to 4.5, 4.75, people are going to start buying. Your property values are going to go up. Then the mortgage companies or banks are going to go, anybody who has a 580 credit score, come on down, 10% down, because they need the paper. Not going to care if you default 5 years later, 2 years later, 8 years later. Come on. Come on down. Uh, Zimmy. Zimmy Meaches. Punta Cana. Okay, I don't know if that's down there. But Zimmy's going to be sweet. How come? Where's the Zimmy Meach? They're calling it Zimmy Meaches, but I don't think it's down in Michi's though. Marriott Michi's. I think that's the one. Hold on a second. Let's go check this out. There's a Marriott Michi's. There's a Marriott Uvera Alto. Because I also was let Uvera Alto 2 lots over was the new Marriott there, all inclusive. So Marriott's going up and down beaches, building these all inclusive resorts. Oh, this looks nice. This is sweet. Oh, this is sweet. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, are these? Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Real estate. I love real estate. Speaking of that, I had a, oh man, I had a reservation I need to get for somebody. Speaking of that, uh, yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, I got more stuff. All of a sudden, people want to go someplace for the holidays. This is what I'm saying. This was not a thing in back in the day. People trying to do Christmas time 2 weeks before Christmas. I mean, this is all I've gotten today. All of a sudden today, I've gotten 3 people talking about, can you get me this during Christmas or New Year's? Now somebody wants Lake Tahoe for New Year's, where there's snow and skiing. Come on, man. You gotta make them reservations. In fact, I have to make my reservation a year in advance to get week 52 for new or 53 for 52, 53 for New Year's and Christmas. I can't even wait around. As soon as it's opened up, I got to get it. These people are like, hey, is there anything 2 weeks from now for New Year's? Crazy. But this is the day we live in because people don't have disposable income. You guys need disposable income to invest. All right, Mr. Light, I had around same amount of ULTY, but a month ago I switched to PLTY for 53. I'm happy with that decision. That is correct. Very smart move, but we can only give the advice. Okay, stick with DCA, dollar cost averaging. You can't go wrong with it. Yeah, but it's a yield max again. It's like it's the best of both worlds. That $700, reinvest it, have more shares next month, reinvest it, but it's automatically reinvesting for you for more shares. So as long as the shares don't keep having this 13% drop, then of course now you get enough shares like Mr. Dividend, Brian P. You get more shares, and eventually it outweighs any price fluctuation, especially a downward one. If it goes up, we don't care. But I agree. You have to do it. DIM pals, if you were here in Florida, your phone would have been loaded up with attorneys. They can smell money a mile away. That's the mafia here. That's right. That is right. And by the way, speaking of that, the funniest thing in Florida, my truck got hit. I mean, it was crazy in Florida when I had the restaurant. I'd be driving down the street. All of a sudden, somebody's like swerves, hits me. And so I'm thinking, like in Cali, I'm a California kid. We're just like, all right, man, let's pull over. Let's get this handled. The people just keep going. So now I'm thinking, okay, we're on a main 4 lane road. It's okay. Maybe they're going to pull over. So I just start following them. And I'm thinking, okay, they're going to slow down and pull over where the nearest area is. No, no, they just keep going. Have to chase them down and they still keep going. One time I'm sitting in a stoplight and in the truck, and the light turns green. It's raining. They take off. So now I just, you're literally, 10, 15 feet away, going maybe 15 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour, right? They stop in the middle of the intersection for no reason. I hit the brakes. No good. It slides. Boom. It was kind of it still was a boom, but not anything major. So I'm like, oh man, these guys, okay. I'm waiting for them to pull over. I get behind them. And so I'm waiting for them to pull over. They pull over, but then they stop at the light. And I'm thinking, okay, what's this? The light changes green. They take off. I mean, like, take off. I was like, what is going on around this place? So that happened. I mean, I've been in so many of these little taps and go things. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's like it's bumper cars. It's crazy. Tamara Larry's in the house. Another investor's here. Hard worker. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. The holiday edition. The family holiday edition. Hopefully, everything's been going well with you and your awesome sons. All right. Let's go. Exactly. Grupo Punta Cana, the owners of the Punta Cana airport, are also building a resort in Mises. That's right. I'm telling you, whatever this group builds, it turns into gold. That is true. They're like the five families on the island. They control their section. But again, the Federal Reserve, ladies and gentlemen, they're hurting you. So why are we talking about Punta Cana or Dominican Republic? Because you need property outside of the United States that you can actually hopefully make some additional money from. Now, let's get real. Dominican Republic is going to break their tourist record from last year, all-time record highs. I predict they'll be at 8.9 million this year. All right. 2023, eight, what was it, 8.2 million or 8.1. 2024, 8.5 million. 2025, 8.9 million. I'm predicting to get 1 million passengers by air this for the first time this December. All right. They've built enough units. They're building all these all inclusives. People are still coming for those all inclusive. Remember the top 20%? That's a lot of people. They don't live paycheck to paycheck. They have money. So that's still enough people. In America, 20% of the people are 70 million people. So let's get straight. All they have is 8.9 million people going to that island. So we have more than enough Americans and Canadians that could go there still that love all inclusive because they're not going to stay with the regular folk. So let's get real. Dude's making 250, 300. Okay, hold on. The top 10% on average, personal wealth is $322,000 somewhere in that neighborhood. All right. Top 1%, 15 million personal wealth. So you can see there's no problem. They're going to the all inclusives, hanging out, and they're picking the best ones. They'll pay the $900, $1,000, $1,300 per night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going. This is what you need to do. So let's get you prepared. Findhelp.org. Go there first. Help yourself out. All right. And I'm going to keep bragging about this. Frank Rainieri has his own uh, news articles that he can put out. And last year, years before, when we were talking about Dominican Republic and investing, and I was giving people numbers. I was saying, this year needs to be 7.5 to 8 million. Then next year it needs to be 8.5 to 9 million, which is the cycle we're not in because we're supposed to be in the 9.5 to 10 million this year. Well, I told people that we needed to get up to around 14 million to make everything safe for everybody that's purchased things and things are going to be built over the next few years. Frank Rainieri came out from Grupo Punta Cana, and you know what he said? Now, I've been saying this stuff for years. He said it earlier this year. If Punta Cana wants to be okay, or not Punta Cana, Dominican Republic wants to be okay, he said something like, we need 14 to 16 million tourists by air. And I just started laughing. I was like, that's funny as hell. So he understands the assignment. He knew what the numbers were, just like I was telling you guys, because we were talking about 10.5 million to 11. Each year, there has to be another mill. So that's why I just said you need 14 million. And until you get to that and you keep building things, every year that you can't get to 14 million is every year you're saturating the rental market for hotels and short term rentals. That's going to catch up with the hotel occupancy rate and it's going to catch up with short term rentals occupancy rates because we're still building a lot of both short term rentals come on the market and hotel units. And hotel units are clearly out of control because they're doing 8 to 10,000 units per year. So, since the Federal Reserve's out here, people are going to be able to get loans. That's right. Even international companies can get loans, investor loans, which also means banks, international banking loans, that they get special treatment loans. The banks can say, hey, yeah, I'll give you a loan for your thing because I'm getting interest only at 3.5%. So I can give you interest only for 5.5% or something of that nature. They can do whatever they want. But the fact is that allows corporations outside of America to buy all over the world. Speaking of corporations outside the United States, I'm just saying, and not have to pay taxes inside the United States. Must be a good thing, right? Okay, let's get to it. The Federal Reserve is hurting Americans, but not stock market investors. Everybody else, good luck. Bailouts for farmers, bails out for John Deere, bailout for manufacturers, bailout for where's the bailout for the grocery company so they can bring the grocery prices down. But why bring grocery prices down? Because the grocery store, they have waste. They're barely surviving. Anybody notice their grocery store changing up? I went to several different ones in different states, and all of a sudden, stuff where it used to be, they've kind of have less items. And so they started moving things around. Then they got their own label on items that they used to sell wherever the manufacturer is. They're putting their name on there. So they're the ones selling it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. Because bottom line is, does anybody know what there's, you can close your eyes, get on a plane. They don't tell you where you're going. You land and you go, guess where we are. You can blindfold me and you go, I'm not going to guess where it is exactly. But are we going to be in a wealthy country or are we going to be in like a third world country? Take me to the grocery store. I open my eyes. I look around. I start seeing short and small packages, not big packages, short, small packages. And they go, oh, yeah, this package here is like $1. Okay, in America, it's like $3. But over there, because they shrank the package, they charge less. I'm in a third world country. Shrinkflation, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're in right now. And the Federal Reserve, they're helping these people by doing this. And also the GOP party in power, when they say tax cuts and tax breaks, they're helping exacerbate the problem with less revenues coming in and more spending. That causes all of these events causes inflation. All of them together combined. And it does nobody any good if you don't want to report your CPI numbers. You don't want to report your inflation. The Trump administration has not reported October or November inflation numbers. And the Federal Reserve responds with, we're going to reduce the interest rate without knowing the numbers. Okay, don't get me wrong. The Federal Reserve has other resources that they can figure out what it is. But I never knew that 2.8%, that you're supposed to reduce the interest rate if you're trying to get inflation down to 2. Since when is that a thing? All I know is when inflation is 2.8%, 2.9%, they always increase the inflation rate. Now, if you say, hey, Eric, it went up to 3.4, then it went down to 3.1, then it went down to 3.0, and then it went down to 2.8, and you said, well, see, it's going down so they can reduce the rate, you would be correct. But then if I say, yeah, but 8 months ago it was 2.7. So actually, it's not high. It's not really lower than that. It's still higher than that, even though it's trending down. Yes. But that doesn't mean it's not going to spike back up because you guys just said you're lowering the interest rate, which means money's going to be cheaper, which now means people are going to buy things that's going to increase the value of it by inflation. And you're also printing money. So that means there's going to be inflation, regardless if you want to report it or not. You're increasing the cost of everything. All you guys combined, not you guys who's watching, the Federal Reserve, the reducing the rate, and them printing money. And because of their reducing the rate, then that means corporations are going to be able to buy back their shares of stock, be able to get loans, and be able to do things. That increases the money supply. Remember those $500,000 10 times, which ends up being 5 million, or 100 times, which ends up being 50 million. This piece of paper isn't worth anything. It's worth 50 million assets under management if I own the paper, but it's not that much. So now I go down and say, hey, can I get a loan against this? They just printed money out of thin air that bought nothing, manufactured nothing. And now I go, hey, can I get a loan? Can I get a loan for $15 million? I got this worth 50. They go, yes, because it's used as collateral. $15 million out of thin air. And now that's in the money supply, and I go buy property, I go buy boat, yachts, whatever the hell, out of thin air. That is inflationary. All right. Hopefully, you guys get this. This is not hard to figure out. And the Federal Reserve helps exasperate this because they also buy shares of stock to keep the stock price propped up. See all this stuff that they don't really talk about? That's what these guys are doing. The Federal Reserve have a desk on the stock market. So they're doing all kind of shenanigans, but they're all inflationary. All of it. So there's no wonder a house is going to increase in price when they're doing reduction of Federal Reserve money, reduction of somehow they'll make a backdoor deals where mortgage companies or banks will be able to get in-house loan capabilities, aka liquidity. Come on. There's all kind of things going on out here, ladies and gentlemen, in the financial system. And that's why they all laugh at us because they get special treatment that nobody else can get. Like I'll keep saying it. If you are starting a business or had a business, there's millions of people watching this, not millions, a few hundred people watching this that has a business. And you were able to go to the Federal Reserve and say, hey, man, I need to invest. I need to invest in this business and get more inventory and marketing and this, that, and the other. And they said, how much you need? And you said, well, I only made like $500,000 last year, but I need like $5 million that I want to do for this program. And they said, oh, no problem. We'll just give you a $5 million interest only loan for 15 years. Is that good with you? You'd be like, what's the catch? And they say 0% interest. I mean, sorry, 3.5% interest for 15 years, interest only. You'd be like, okay, what's the catch? Really? Oh, and by the way, if it gets up to 10 years and you're having difficulty or anytime you're having difficulty, we could just extend it. You'd be like, what? I mean, like, you would like lose your mind. But see, there's companies, corporations, and individuals that get to have these type of deals. And they're the wealthy. They're not going to let ordinary citizens be able to do this. That's why you got to get on the wealth train, ladies and gentlemen. That should be the next title of a video, the wealth train. All right, let's go. I'm having a little bit of fun. I'm going to get off tonight. It's only an hour and 30 minutes. If anybody has anything they want to discuss, I know if Brian P's still here, he wants to discuss. So what I'm going to do is FBI issues photo attack warning for Facebook. Oh my goodness. Watch, just take my condo. Oh man. Oh man. Wait, what? This is, oh my God. Hey, do you remember the IRS is launching a nationwide operation to visit the homes of taxpayers who did not submit this mandatory form? This is, oh my God. Doge was sitting at the offices and Palantir were getting people's information from the federal government like traders. And the government was allowing them to get independent citizens and everybody else's information against all laws. This is crazy. I cannot believe it. IRS decides to say hi. They are not going to knock on your door because they are bored at the office. But listen, just like before storm begins to drizzle, before some appears in person at your home, IRS sends the famous letter 725B. It's their diplomatic way of saying the famous, we need to talk. If you answer it, perfect. If not, well, the visit goes ahead anyway. The letter is not a just in case. It's more of a last warning, so best not to ignore it. What happens? Relax. Nobody is arresting you. Right. Ask for identification. Check the message. What do they want, man? Get on with it. They're not going to search your house asking, what? Okay, we know this. You cannot avoid it. Sorry, the exit, but the doorbell, file the returns on time, respond to letter 72. This is, it's a letter, famous letter, already arrived. You ignored it. Many people leave that paper waiting for it to dissolve. Um, well, I can't really tell what they're doing because I'm just going by this. So what I'll do is I'll leave this in the chat room. You guys can check it out. All right. I don't know what this IRS. Wait, they have enough agents for this? What are we talking? That sounds more like targeting to me. That's what that sounds like to me. Targeting, ladies and gentlemen. They're targeting people on the guise of I'm coming over here for whatever. So they're going to go for certain people. Wow. Wow. FDA approves first gene therapy for rare immune disorder. Mapped the cost of college. That's rising. USAA returns 3.7 billion to members. Uh, Post pandemic. And by the way, 40% of females in America are looking to move abroad. Can you imagine even if 10% moved abroad? This is what this going. You understand the reason why a woman can't have they're losing freedoms. Your body's not autonomous. If you get pregnant in a state that says, well, there's no abortion, it's abortion ban, and you get pregnant, and now the doctor, and now you have a problem pregnancy, the doctors are scared that if you come in and there's a problem and they have to abort the child, that they can go to jail. So instead, you bleed out at the hospital parking lot or at emergency room. Who wants to deal with this? Now they're trying to say women shouldn't vote. Just talk of this nonsense is crazy. Now they're saying women are the most that are in the healthcare professional business. Then they say you're no longer a health professional. Majority are women. It's like an assault on women. GOP party, by the way. Again, it just seems to be these one guys. I don't get it. But yeah, no shocker there. No shocker. Have kid, hopefully no problem in a lot of states. And if you go to another state where there's not that problem, they're going to try and arrest you. And the people that helped you go to the other state or the doctors in the other state. I'm like, if I'm a woman, I'm having problems. I mean, geesh. And there's people out here all good with it. I'm like, I'm not good with that. That just puts a burden on society because now if you want women or anybody, women, men, families to have children, and then you go, the next move is common. What about childcare? What about healthcare going forward? Oh, I'm sorry. You gotta get ACA. You gotta you, wait. I don't make enough money. I live paycheck to paycheck. Well, then you shouldn't have had kids. That's what people come up with. But then you don't want me to have birth control. I'm like, and then you don't want me to have abortion if I want to. So now that I can't do that, now I have the child. Oh, yeah, sorry. No school lunches, no free school lunches for you. See, all this makes no sense. The Federal Reserve, again, I'm not blaming them, but by the Federal Reserve ignoring what should be done. They should never be going up and down trying to spur the economy when the wealthy take advantage. And now we have an administration acting like the wealth. We're over here in Saudi Arabia. We're over here talking. Jared Kushner and his wife, who's related to the president, is over in Saudi Arabia talking to them to take over Warner Brothers Discovery in a hostile takeover using Saudi money. How is this even? This is unheard of. A third world country for sure. Communist country, by the way, as well. Again, I'm disgusted. I shouldn't keep going because this is why, we got banned before. All right. Oh, EV. Thank you, man. It looks like I got the Kaputs part 2, part 3, Blue Marlin. Thank you, man. I've been going through some things the last few days, so I didn't get to it, but thank you. I appreciate it. All right. But again, the Federal Reserve, ladies and gentlemen, help you. They hurt you, but they hurt you if you don't do anything. If you don't invest in the number one commodity in America for the rich and wealthy is the stock market. Corporations. That's where they make their money. That's where you need to be. That's why you put your retirement funds in a 401k. Now they want to mess with the 401ks, right? So then that's why I suggest again, get your own trading account. Again, if you're new, just showed up, you see this video late, here you go. Let me do what I need to do here. All right. We're going to get you right. Candlestick. I always say Candlestick Bible. Candlestick Trading Bible. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. Now, I'm going to get out of the emails. We'll talk about this. I got a lot of videos to make, it looks like. Thank you, Brian P, because I'm in the mood for work. So it looks like I'm going to be making some videos. Lots of videos about some of these emails. So I appreciate that. And right there on the screen, that's where you go get your Candlestick Trading Bible, ladies and gentlemen. Get with the program, study, take your time. Just, you don't have to sit there for hours. You can just study a page or two at a time. There's 168 of them. Then, like I said, you use CoinX. I guess I should put that in there. Go to the broker, open it up to MetaTrader 4 or 5, and then use the demo account. You can always Google on YouTube. Somebody always shows how to, if you have a problem with MetaTrader, don't understand it, you can just always Google or go to YouTube and somebody shows you, because everybody's got to have questions, right? So again, CoinX, hold on, I don't want to do that one because last time it gave everything the gold rush and all that. Here's the CoinX. There you go. Offshore broker. Oh, geez, how can I forget? It's Wednesday night. If you're still here, we need your credit at 775 by 1 year, December 31st next year. If you need debt consolidation or resolution, not having to go to get yourself in a tizzy about filing bankruptcy, because you don't want to miss out on this next bull run. You don't want to miss out on the 0% interest for 24 months, which is out now. You definitely don't want to miss the 0% interest for 3 years, do you? You don't want to miss that, I'm sure. So you need a credit score. I know they're going to allow like 750. I need you to be at 775 or more. All right? I need you on the max train. But debt resolution, Tracy, TRACY.sharpe, SHARPE, at moneyladder.com. I put it in the chat room. For everybody on podcast, I hope you heard this. All right? Now, is there anything else of business that we need to handle? Yes, there is. Professor Auntie Val and family. It's getting chilly out here. It was 37 degrees out here. What's happening? All I know is this: beachfront Java, coffee, ladies and gentlemen, teas. Get yours now. Our own Professor Auntie Val and family in that business. Go down there, show some love. Let them know you're from SSN Nation. So that way, all caps, SSN Lifestyle, all caps, SSN Lifestyle, all caps, all one word. So therefore, you get a discount on your next purchase. All right? Yes. And it's great coffee. And there's over 20 different varieties of coffee. There's like 10 different teas or more now. But the point is, go over there and show some love for our own Professor Auntie Val at beachfrontjava.com. All right, let's wrap this up because you guys know it's time to go. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen. It gets harder by the day. Every time I open up a bill, it's more money. I'm sitting there looking like, how is this even happening? It's like magic. Bills used to be $90. Now it's $120. It's crazy. Crazy. And I'm not even here. It's crazy. All right. Just letting you guys know, I'm worried out here for you. Most people who have the time to watch this, it's 80% of you are living paycheck to paycheck and no way out. Because the jobs, when the listings are open, they say they're available jobs. Then when you apply, you get back nothing or a letter saying we've already filled the position, but it appears there's way more jobs, that's livable wage jobs, that there are available, and that makes sense. When you have millions of people that are being laid off, you have mom and pop businesses that are being destroyed, those people are being laid off, it starts adding up, and it is not a pretty picture that's happening. And there's no new corporations that's telling people, oh, yeah, you're going to make $120,000 a year and work 40 hours a week. That is not going to be 10 million jobs by Christmas. All right. Just so you know, it's not even going to be 10 million jobs by next Christmas. But the point I'm trying to make is they're few and far between. So protect yourself by being able to improve yourself. If you're good at some sort of business, then do business. If you're good at you can always improve yourself for individual wealth because you're going to have to go the individual route. Just like all the kids right now, they're 20, 25, 30, 35. They say I can't buy a house. I can only get a job that only makes like 50, $60,000 a year. That's not a livable wage job. So now they're like, what am I going to do? And that's why you get a lot of people excited about their own business that they control the money. One of those is trading. It's simple. And yes, there's risk, but the liability risk is lower than if somebody said, well, I want you to go get a multifamily apartment complex. And you have to figure out 25% down. And then you have to hope people have a job and pay their rent and a large occupancy rate number. Because if there's a recession and 20% of your people all of a sudden are late and you have to evict them, that costs a lot of money. So you see, that's why I say duplex, triplex, fourplex, FHA, while the getting is good. 580 up, 580 and up credit score. That's right, you heard me. Let's go. All right, you got to go find it. You got to go hunt. Got to go hunting, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be with the big boys? And as they say, you want a bomba. Come on now. Let's go. And that's it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much for being here. Next time, bring the boys and girls because the sooner they learn, the better they'll be prepared for when they start their job and the guys come up to them and go, hey, I want to start. You guys want to get into the 401k? We're going to take out five. How much do you want to put in every paycheck? 5%? 10%? And so there will be saying, well, like everybody says, they give you a pamphlet. They go, well, this is what's been happening over the last few years. No, you want your kids to be going, what is this 6.5%? What is this 6.5 this year, 7.5 that year? Hold on. The last few years, the S&P 500, like QQQ, SPY, VOO, we did like 13%. You guys are like half of what I would have gotten over the last 3 or 4 years. Why would I be in your 401k? I'm sorry, that's a no. Sounding like me now. And so you would go and you would create your own solo 401k. Just saying. Okay, we just got to be cool because you guys know it's Fidelity, ladies and gentlemen, now. All right. Recommended Fidelity. In fact, I have a link for Fidelity, by the way. I should bring that in. I should bring that in. All right. Willis Addison, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. I thank you so much for giving correct 100%. I appreciate that, man. Very nice to see you. I don't recognize the name, so it may be a new person in the house. Thank you so much for your support. And make sure everybody out here smash them like buttons. Give it the old power because the YouTube gods, they like to hide the info. So anyhow, just keep those things in mind. And by the way, when you get your solo 401k, just remember that's going to be very powerful because you control it. And don't even let me get started with your business having its own 401k and you run the business. And now you can tell your business, since you own it, that you have a match to contributions. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're dangerous out here, ladies and gentlemen. We like legal. Because when you do it the legal way, they all of a sudden go, hey, wait a minute. We got too many people. We don't want these people to be able to know this stuff. We want to tell them, go down to the financial planner. And then the financial planners and all them guys start going, well, hey, man, I need like 3-5 grand. I'm going to help you out with this. You're like, hold up, man. I'm just a humble, ordinary citizen. I really don't want to. I want to put, if I had 3-5 grand that I have, I want to put it into something. Yeah, I got to get paid. You're like, hold on, man. Hold on. Let me tune in over here at Stop Struggling Now. That's right. Okay. Let me tune in over here. So that's what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. Just go to Fidelity. It's very simple. You can do it yourself. They're not doing anything special. Let's get real. You can go over to Vanguard Group, go to VOOG, VTI. You can go look that up yourself. You can make your own stock portfolio if you want, but make it a solo 401k because you know why? We want tax write offs, ladies and gentlemen. We want investments. We get tax write offs for our company. We get tax write offs for when we put money in a 401k for our own personal. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Hey, and by the way, did we mention tax free later? All right, let's go. Bullseye, said Willis Addison. I like this. I like this. Another person that understands financials. We love it. And by the way, Fidelity. In fact, you know what I'm going to do right now? Let me go to Fidelity real quick. Fidelity.com. Oh, and by the way, Fidelity has a brokerage account. And they do over the counter on their brokerage account. Unlike a lot of brokerage accounts, they don't do that kind of thing. All right. So everything I just told you, Fidelity allows. So you can have your own business. So your business can have a 401. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain again. Your business can have a 401k that your employees can invest in. Then you can have your own solo 401k. Both help your taxes. And while you're at your business 401k, you're going to match 3, 4, 5%, whatever you want to say. Just can't get crazy. And so once you do that, you have a match on your money from your corporation or company. You have a write off for your taxes, personals, because you invested up to 20 some thousand a year, you and your wife, is even better. And those are write offs from your income. All right. Just for simplistic reasons. So that's what the big boys are doing out here. What are you doing? It's not that hard. Uh-oh. What's this? Hold on a second. I'm trying to see something because I remember, since I'm giving him a little love, I remember they used to have me a link somewhere on here where I would tell people to go check out. Let me see. Let me see if I just have it. No. If I do, I'll look for it. They sent me something one time and they said, "Hey, man, we got some promo going. Share the love." I was like, okay. Let me see if I still have it up here. Nope, not yet. If I find it, we'll be talking about it on. Oh, by the way, since I'm over in here now, by the way, they have information that can help you out. You can study at fidelity.com. All right, just saying. All right. And it's very simple to sign up a business and all that. You can have your brokerage account there. You can have your 401k there. And you know how that works. Your business can actually do trading. Just saying. All right, enough tonight. Willis Addison, very nice to see you with the correct 100 and the bullseye. Because we want to build wealth. You want to build wealth. You need to reduce your debt. If you want to try to make your debt better, I forgot about smartcredit.com. That is a credit monitoring system which can help you. You can go look at this right now. They might have some special promotion because it's Christmas time. And oftentimes they have it used to be during Christmas, $1 per month for like 6 months, for each month, 6 months. So don't dismiss it. Go check them out right now. And man, I forgot about something. Jeez, I forgot about the Bancus credit card. Debit card, not credit card, Bancus debit card that is outside of the United States. No KYC, no name on card. crypto debit card. Bancus link incoming. I'm about to put it in the chat room as well. Now, they have a metal card. It's $75 plus $10 shipping. Takes a few weeks to come. It's outside of the country. You can load it using crypto, which is the cool part. But it's outside the United States. No name, no nothing on the card, just the Visa logo, debit, credit sides. Okay, let me double check something. Then I'll get out of here. Yep, I didn't do that, did I? Smart credit. You want to improve your credit and study your credit. That's why there's smart credit. It's one of the best monitoring systems around. Oh my goodness. Willis Addison, thank you for the donation. I humbly appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Keep up the good work. Financial literacy or bust. There you go, man. That's what we do here. The sensible, real way. We're not trying to cut corners, but I am trying to give people some information because right here, right now, I'm going to tell you guys have heard the stories before. A lot of people haven't experienced this. Some people have. Banks do steal money. They steal money. They steal brokerage accounts. And also, United States, they're going to have to start stealing your money as well via some of these government agencies. So this is why I like outside of United States jurisdiction, Bancus crypto debit card. So again, I deal with offshore. There, this is offshore broker for trading. They don't report to United States for jack crap, offshore. Then offshore Visa debit card. They don't report to the United States for crap. So I just don't care if the United States knows I make money, but I know they ain't taking my money. It goes there. Crypto card. I go anywhere. I don't have the card yet, but I already know why I'm doing it. So I did join at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Tuesday and Thursday, or 8 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday. You don't want to miss this one. The reason I say that is because there's some sort of promotion that's going to come out December 15th. And you have to have ordered your card by December 15th. They have a plastic one that would be $35 shipped. But of course, everybody grabs that one because the plastic card has the where you can tap. The metal card doesn't have tap, which again, I'm liking tap. And so now you actually have to, swipe or put it in the machines. All right. But thank you again, Willis Addison, for the donation. I appreciate it. And for your being here. And now I love this conversation because you guys know what happens when I get somebody talking like this. Fractional banking is theft by bankers indeed. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, there's a lot of people right now that does not like cash, right? But some of you, if you try to go down to the bank and you say, hey, I need 25 grand. And they're like, what? We can give you a cashier's check. I'm like, what? No, I need 25,000 cash. Sometimes they look at you and be like, you're going to have to make an appointment and come back another day. What do you mean? I'm trying to buy a house from an auction right now. I need the money in the next 5 hours. They're like, I'm sorry. We don't have that here. How about if you take 5 grand? I'm like, are you kidding me right now? All right, just say it. This fractional banking thing is theft by bankers indeed, and oftentimes they don't have the liquidity. So when you have those overnight repos, this is part of it. They're like, oh man, we got to get some more money in our bank, man. So Federal Reserve, can you send us some money, please? And the Federal Reserve goes, hold on. Let's go print some more money so we can send them some money, ladies and gentlemen. Creating inflation, adding to the money supply. Again, the Federal Reserve is not your friend. It was basically set upon this country by a bunch of rich and wealthy men. You don't think it was for the American citizens' benefit, do you? It's a byproduct, and they get to control the economy with a few 5 or 6 families. Just saying. All right, let's go. Willis Addison, I hopefully will see you once again on another live stream. Friday night, the Financial Friday Night live stream. Financial literacy is always at the top of the game. Now, let's go. I left out something else because I was talking about smart credit. We did that. I left out the Bancus information. So you guys, yes, buy a byproduct of Bancus. If somebody signs up, then they give you a little bit of kibbles and bits. If somebody orders the card, it's affiliate thing. Yes, yes. I don't really care about that. What you should care about is your money not being subject to being stolen from banks, the United States government, by having some money outside of US jurisdiction. So when you go on vacation, you always bring your passport, you always bring or put in your phone or on your email your last 6 months of your bank statements because they're now digital. You have another form of ID besides your passport. You have your last year's tax returns. Then, when you go there, you find out, can you open a bank account? And whatever they say, it could be a minimum of 200, 400, 500. The most I've ever known is 500. So that way you don't have any fees. I mean, all of them take less, but there's a threshold on if they charge you a monthly fee. So usually you got to put in as much as no monthly fee. They have ATM machines in case you need it. But all I'm saying is you open a bank account, which is at another jurisdiction outside of US control. Just saying. And again, I'm not saying I'm trying to use that nefariously. All I'm saying is because I do not trust America. Again, if you're new here, the United States have stolen a lot of things from me. All right. So that's why I am paranoid. All right. And there's probably a couple other million, and I'm pretty sure if you know what I've never done? I just found out about Peter Schiff getting screwed for his bank, his Euro bank. They came in there, and of course you have to be regulated to have a bank, right? This sounds familiar. He's regulated, he has a bank, but yet the federal government or somebody comes in and starts going, well, we need to make sure you're doing everything right. He's like, I'm in the banking industry. I have to have federal regulators on the floor. I got to have people that know about this. I can't just be doing anything. And they're running it. I'm not even running it, right? But the feds, uh, proxy, the Puerto Rican government comes in and starts messing with him because he has hundreds of millions of dollars under his control. So then they go with the usual, it's fraud. There's money laundering going on. He's like, how? We're regulated. We ask for documents. We don't care. It's money laundering. I told you, the United States is one of the worst places that goes by law because there's loopholes. Everything you do that you think is legal, no problem, there is something that it's not. They just don't come after you until they come after you. That's all I'm going to say right now. All right, but here's the thing. I'm doing this. I'm going to give you guys a perfect example, something I've never done. US Bank stole money. Hold on. Stole money from me. Hold on. From me. Uh, Chase Bank blames woman for not protecting her account after scammers stole it. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. How do banks steal money from customers? Oh man, this is already, I can't even believe this came up. How banks can scam you. This is crazy. Are we serious right now? $20 sophisticated scam empties business owners bank. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Bank teller accused of stealing millions from the vault. Yeah, my millions. Not my millions. I didn't lose a million. But the point is, my money. She took my money at the Bank of America, at Wells Fargo, at US Bank. And by the way, these are all different years too. It's not wasn't even 1 year. 3 banks stole money from me. So damn right, I don't like banks. Trying to throw me in jail because I'm arguing about where's my money. Crazy. Yeah, nothing comes up. So I guess not that many people's getting abused like they used to. Otherwise, they'd be on social media, you would think. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. I'm with you, Mr. Addison. 110% ruining capitalism along the way and cheating by making sure the wealthy and the well to do and connected get an advantage over 90% of Americans financially. But not on my watch. We're going to hang in there, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hang in there. Don't give up. Every day is another day to be your best and learn, and another day to learn about investing. And there's different ways you can invest. We talked about only a few today, but there's a myriad of others, and we'll be talking about that over the next year because 2026 is your last year, your last chance. You need disposable income. You need your credit score 775 or higher because we are hunting. Right now, we're hunting for the 0% interest for 36 months. Some people are like, what are you talking about? Yes, it doesn't exist right now. They had one place for Black Friday for a snippet, and I put screenshot because I wanted to show you guys, and then now I can't find it. Right now, the most I can find is 0% at 24 months. But next year, it's coming. I know it, and it's going to be epic. Not having to pay interest for 36 months. You better be swiping that damn card and paying it down. But if you didn't, so what? $95 annual fee added on top, 0%, who cares? But you will have to pay about what, 1% a month, something like that. So don't get carried away. Just saying. All right. So just keep that in mind. Correct. Wall Street aren't missing any meals under the Fed. We'll tune in again. Exactly. Willis Addison, my brother, you're part of the SSN Nation already. I feel it. Welcome to the family. Because only certain people talk this way. Because you know exactly what's going down when you say stuff like this. That's right. We know when somebody knows something because by your responses, I know you know. And that's why we got to do what we got to do, ladies and gentlemen. I want to repeat this again for everybody on podcast. Wall Street aren't missing any meals under the Fed. That's right. And I love the last part. We'll tune in again. Thank you so much once again for your donation. Willis Addison. Hopefully, I'll see you again. Thank you so much for being here this night. It's been a pleasure. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stay safe out here because a lot of people are going under stress, duress, and mayhem from other people. You might be chilling, minding your own business, but other people are going through it right now. You just need to be calm. Try to stay calm. Try not to get into anything because you never know what's going to transpire after. So mind your business pretty much. Try to stay even keel. Try to stay calm under stress and duress yourself. But no matter what you do out here, you always got to keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.